Hello and welcome to another edition of the One Team We Agree On. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Kyle. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty well. How about you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Good weekend for Union 2, not the Eagles.
Yes, for the Eagles, not for the Dolphins.
Yes, but Union 2.
Yeah.
We're really gonna go there. Wow. Anyway, we're starting off on a hot note
Yeah.
here. And yeah, but good weekend for Union 2 advancing in the MLS Next Pro playoffs to semifinals, and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Union's loss once again. They remain winless in Charlotte. But we also got some other news. And again, before we start, just thanks for everybody tuning in again. Really appreciate everybody listening to us. And yeah, I mean, if you haven't heard, we were on
We are on Brotherly Love F
yeah.
the program that they have out of Fox 29. So shout out to Tom and Chris who had us on, and it's on Fox 29's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So they're trying to really highlight soccer in Philadelphia area leading up to the World Cup. So not only are they covering the Union, but also local soccer.
Yeah, it's really good. They had a lot of like local soccer on. They had some clips, highlights, like great defensive plays, great offensive plays. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, we had a
And
great time being on, great
yeah,
conversation. So thanks to those guys for having us on. It was awesome. So
it
definitely
was.
check it out.
Yeah, definitely. We'll leave that link in the show notes.
Mhm.
And then before we get started, what we're wearing today.
I am wearing my Union 2 t-shirt that I got from the team store, the only bit of merch they've sold for Union 2. There needs to be more Union 2 merch. I would love to sport more Union 2 things on the podcast. So just putting that out there. So yeah, there needs to be more Union 2 merch available,
And
or the ability to purchase jerseys, or you know,
or just support Union too.
yay. Yeah, we just want to support them, I'm sure. And there's lots of other people who want to as well. So I'm just putting that out there. There is a
There we
demand.
go. And I'm wearing Samstown, a great Killers album.
That is that is a no skip album.
Yes, it
Sam's
is,
Town,
but also
great.
a great hotel and casino in Las
Yes.
Vegas.
And this has nothing to do with the Union once again, as yeah, you just wore a random shirt. But
I mean, is it though? I mean, is it homage to an old podcast that we did?
yeah.
So anyway, today we're going to talk about again Union and Union 2. We got some awards to talk about, some accolades, a fun show on tap. So where can people find us at?
Find us wherever you get your podcasts. We also have our website, theoneteamweagreeon.com, where we have lots of articles. I wrote a lot lately for sure.
Yes, you have.
I was busy the last few days. And also find us on our YouTube channel for the One Team We Agree On. On our socials, you can find us on Twitter and Blue Sky at TOTWAG. Also, we are on Facebook and Instagram at the One Team We Agree On. Find me at silly double underscore Jilly on Twitter and Instagram. I'm on Blue Sky at Jillian Almany. And also, Kyle, you can be found at Kyle at Coach Almany on all of those platforms.
Yes, I can. And as we kick it off here, a little bit of award-winning news here.
Yeah.
Um, Former guests of the podcast.
Actually,
Uh,
the first player, like the first current Union player
that
we've
we've
had.
had, yeah.
Yeah, he was, of course, just with Union 2 at the time, but not contracted yet with the first team. But yeah, first player that we had on our pod, kind of local guy,
Neil Pierre,
Neil Pierre,
named MLS Pro Defensive
MLS
Player.
Next Pro Defender
Yes,
of the Year, the first
yes,
year they've given it out, by the
yes.
way.
Which was kind of funny because it sounds like this year they're doing a lot more with like the Pathway Player,
Hmm.
Golden Boot, MVP. They got a couple other awards, and
Yeah.
it's just really they're kind of trying to streamline, obviously, what they do with MLS and then with MLS Next Pro.
Yeah.
So.
So, yeah, Defender of the Year and part of the Best 11, which, as you may recall, last year, Union 2 had Frankie Westfield and CJ Olney on the Best 11 for the season. But
So I was
yeah,
down at training when this was announced, and
yes.
yeah,
So, and if you're just listening, it's showing a picture of Neil Pierre and Coach Ryan Richter holding up a special jersey for Neil for being Defender of the Year.
Yeah, it says Defender of the Year 2025 in Union 2K. And then after the match yesterday, we talked to Neil and just
Yeah.
talked about, getting those accolades.
Tell us how it feels to be Defender of the Year.
I'm still kind of like, I don't know how to feel yet. It's still kind of hitting me. I guess maybe after the season hits, it's like, all right, I'm cooled out because right now I'm just playoff mode, straight playoff. So I think obviously it's a great feeling. I think without this team, I would not have this. So I think it's, to be honest, just giving it back to the team.
Tell us.
Yeah, and I liked how Neil mentioned about how, the team really helped him get that as well. And I know Ryan Richter had mentioned it as well when he presented it, and Neil thanked his teammates. And Ryan had shared his thoughts with us before the match as well about that. So just tremendous honor for Neil, well deserved. He's been fantastic. Honestly, he and Rafael Uzgateki, they've been fantastic on that back line, I think. But it's been great to see Neil shine there.
Yeah, I think if they would have gone back four instead of a back three, and we talked to some other people,
Hmm.
I think Raphael would have been the next one in line because he definitely deserves some praise on his season. He was excellent again yesterday, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, no, some really good news there. We got some other things to cover.
And by the way, and it was Neil's birthday yesterday too.
Yes, it
So yeah,
was.
it's a happy birthday, Neil. What a week for him. So yeah, it's awesome. And it's funny, every time we talk to Neil, I mean, that kid is tall.
Yeah, he
Oh my
keeps
goodness.
growing. But
Yeah, I always feel so short.
you
Yeah.
know, the first team minutes, he got his debut. Maybe the first team minutes didn't come as expected.
I
Maybe
mean, it was in the 7-0 loss, but hey, he got some experience there. And he told us too, that um or he said, yeah, his brother and his dad were there
yeah.
when he got to play, so that was awesome.
Yeah, and I think, there's been some learning moments this year
Hmm.
compared to last year with him, but you can see still the growth, the development.
Hmm.
Brian's really challenged him this year, I
Yeah,
felt. But and Carnell say still early in that first team development stage,
right.
so maybe he's back with you two next year, maybe goes on loan with
I
USL,
mean, he
but
just turned 18, so he's
he
still
still
pretty
has
young.
some time.
Yeah.
But I think, the future's bright for him.
Absolutely. Really excited. We've been high on him since, he's been coming up. I think he's got a very bright future, and I'm excited to see what he does.
Yeah, so let's get into some Union 2 news here. Let's kick this one off.
Yeah. So they had the quarterfinals
Yeah.
at Subaru Park yesterday.
Yep, against FC Cincinnati 2, which they had faced three times this year, and Union beat them four times now. So,
Yeah, and that's tough to do.
yeah, 2-1 win. Strong second half really propelled them forward. I thought overall it was an
Hmm.
excellent match. And yeah, I mean, Stas Kolzanowski had a brace. He now has 7 goals in 5 matches. And just want to get Ryan Richter's thoughts on this.
Yeah, and I mean, s- gosh, Stas has been on a hot streak.
Yeah.
So, and strikers can be streaky.
But
Ryan
yeah,
said that before.
but let's talk about, let's hear what Ryan had to say here.
For MLS Next Pro was a really high level from both teams. And I thought it was competitive both ways. They had chances that they could hurt us, and then we had probably a few more. Certainly in the second half, I thought we had better control of the game and created a decent amount of goal scoring chances. Um, but I was proud of the guys the way they raised their level to that game. Everyone that participated. I mean, it was an awesome energy, great experience, a really good crowd for Union 2, and that's what the kind of games we need these guys to play in, where there's a little bit more pressure in it, and you need to perform. And I was happy with the way that the guys stepped up today.
And I agree 100% with what Ryan said there.
Hmm.
These are the kind of games that at times this year, obviously, it's a young team.
Yeah.
They always haven't raised to the challenge. I can think of Inter Miami.
Yeah. Oh.
I
Hmm.
can think of New England. I can think of, heck, on the road against Red Bulls.
Yeah.
Moments like that this year where maybe they score first and then they just think, oh, well, the game's in the hand, and the other team gets a cheap goal.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to PK, or even worse, they have to crawl back after maybe another bad goal given up.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I thought overall this was a match start to finish. It was a fight. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati brought it to them.
They did.
Credit to them. But at the end of the day, that's part one. That's one. I thought Union were a little better.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, Cincinnati, they fought till the end. I mean, they were throwing everything they had there,
Yeah, they were.
but I thought that Union 2 came out pretty strong, like right from they had chances and they weren't really making George Marks work too much. He did make
No,
some very good saves though.
he did.
He did. But I thought overall I thought the midfielders played really, really well. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
I,
like they did a good job controlling that. Um, and of course, yeah, the defense, they all really, just the whole squad, I thought really were clicking yesterday. And especially in the second half, I thought they came out really firing.
yeah, I thought Nick and CJ were good. I thought Kellen was solid on the day.
Yeah.
Marcus has moments.
Hmm.
We'll talk about one of his blunders, which I'm sure he
Hmm.
is a good learning
Hmm.
moment. But
Gio had some really nice,
Gio had some
he did
very
really
nice
nice saves.
plays getting to the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall it was
Yeah.
good. It was a good showing from the team. But again, Stas having another brace.
Yeah.
This is what you kind of want to see. Him starting to find his confidence, starting to find his form late in the season, heading into the playoffs.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. And so getting that opening goal was like the 10th minute,
yeah,
that set the tone. You get that first goal. Okay, you know, that's gonna really get it going there. And it was a nice header off of a Kellen LeBlanc free kick.
which is a beautiful, I mean, it was textbook. That's what you want to see.
Hmm.
We talk about with the first team, obviously with what Frank does with the first team. You see
Hmm.
that trickle down. That was a great delivery in from Kellen,
Yeah.
and Stas just ran right onto it
Hmm.
and delivered it perfectly in the back of the net. You're thinking, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Um,
And Stas mentioned, that Fred really helped him with that.
yeah, and if you go Union 2 training, you see that a lot
Hmm.
with those players. They are working on those fine tactical
Hmm.
plays a lot in training. Just it's the little things with these guys, especially when I was down on Thursday this past week working on PKs. They were working on set pieces. It was pretty cool to see. And at this point in the season, that's what you want to do. You just want to fine tune. So,
Yeah. And then how about that second goal? I
yeah,
mean,
nice build up from
oh,
Periano, CJ.
yeah, Nick had like that little like flick. It was like kind of a cool little flick over there,
Flick
and then
on to CJ. CJ runs it up the middle.
yeah,
And as Ethan Stas said to us, and it's
yeah,
on your post match
yeah, he did like a
recap,
little cut back there, and
and
yeah,
just ran right in,
hmm,
delivered a beautiful ball right to Stas. He could
hmm,
run right on to put it up, made 2-1. So
yeah,
you asked Stas after the match, and I thought
yeah,
this was a great question.
hmm,
What has been the difference? We knew early on in the season he was injured.
yeah,
When we talked to him early in the season, he was trying to find his form, understand the system was different than the way he played from at Penn.
hmm.
But yeah, here's what he had to say about that. And we'll play his clip right now. And here's what he had to say.
All right. So you went a long spell there without any goals, and then all of a sudden you've been on this streak. Just what's changed with you?
Um, I don't know. I guess I'm just riding on a wave of momentum and trying to keep that, latch onto it. Just the it's a moment in time. It was just a dry spell, and every striker's familiar with that. It's a part of the game, and it's how you deal with it. And I think I just pushed myself through the summer, through the injury, and just kept grinding away at it. And it finally clicked, and I knew when it would that I'd be in a good spot. And I'm just trying to keep perspective, not get too ahead of myself, but understand the things that got me to where I am right now, and to keep doing that.
Yeah, I couldn't say that
Hmm.
better. I mean, he's right. every striker has those hot and cold spells. We've seen that with Mikel this year. We've
Yep.
seen it with Ty, Bruno. We saw it with Carranza, Gazdag, all those players.
Yep.
It happens. It's part of being a striker. Eddie Davis is no more, and
Oh gosh. The
he.
amount of times that guy has hit the post,
Yes.
like the
I mean, it's
post.
strikers being strikers,
Yeah,
and that's more you gotta look into. I honestly think injuries played a big part in
for
it.
sure. That did sideline him
I
quite a
don't
bit.
know anything, but I do feel like he's now gained his confidence. We're seeing a
Mm-hmm.
much more confident, much more physical
Mm-hmm.
Stas up there. And again, with we'll get to it with who they got playing playoffs coming up. It's gonna be a big,
Mm-hmm.
big role.
Absolutely. So I think, he's done a good job of being where he needs to be. I know, like Ryan had mentioned with Stas, he's like, you're a big guy. Get your big self in there and, you
Yeah,
know, be a force in there. Let the little guys kind of run around and
yeah,
whatever, So, but yeah, so great for Stas. I mean, he ended the regular season tied with Malik for the team lead in goals at 8, and now he's already got 2 in the postseason. So,
yeah. I mean, 10 goals on the season. You love to see it in his first
hmm
professional season.
yeah,
Also, talk a little bit about a learning moment
yeah.
here. Marcus Anderson has had some blunders. We know that. But we've also seen some amazing
Oh,
things
he's been tremendous at
from
taking,
him
yeah.
from Union 2.
hmm
Yesterday there was a little bit of a blunder. I think I wouldn't call it a blunder, it's a learning moment.
Yeah, and like honestly, most of his play was fantastic yesterday. There was this one little blunder.
I mean, he gets fouled, he's calling for the card or calling for whatever.
hmm
And Cincinnati, to their credit, does a quick restart,
hmm
and his man just dribbles up the field. A Union caught sleeping on the play because Marcus is obviously yelling at the ref.
hmm
Crosses the ball in, heads in past Marks, and it's 1-1 at the half. And you're thinking, as good as that first
hmm
30 minutes were, now the game's draw, and now the Union kind of lose their momentum. And
hmm
that's a moment there where Marcus, I think, needs to hold his,
Yeah.
composure a little bit. Yeah, it was a tough foul, and yeah, you probably want a little bit more. And it was also a play where, yeah, like, I don't know, Marcus, you kind of fouled the guy a little bit there, and I don't know, like, he was just arguing over that foul, and it was like,
Yeah.
yeah, but I don't know.
Mm.
Thoughts?
Yeah, I know, just a little learning experience, but that's the thing. Marcus does a good job of learning from these experiences. So,
So
well,
hopefully we see a little bit of improvement in the next game, but overall, I did think he played well, had a lot of good defensive plays and
mhm,
offensive plays, was
for
creating
sure.
chances. But again, these are the kind of things as you get deeper in the playoffs that can come back to bite you. And hopefully, this isn't one of those things like we saw in Cincinnati last year that comes back to bite the second team. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
hmm
Anyway, um, but back to a positive note, one thing I do want to talk about is the last 20 minutes after the Union went up 2-1.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, Go ahead.
Yeah, no. They really did kind of, buckle down and just try to hold it. I mean, and they were getting chances too. I think when all is said and done,
Perrion had one where the ball was at his foot in the
oh,
box and he
yeah.
couldn't control it.
Yeah.
Shot
They
net.
had they had a few chances. I
Yeah,
know
they did.
so I mean, I forget when it was like Kellen ripped one too that like the keeper had a really good save on because
There was a couple good
yeah.
saves.
But yeah, they had some chances and but Union 2 did a good job of not letting Cincinnati penetrate there at the end. They were really throwing it forward.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're bringing every offensive player they had on that
hmm
bench into the lineup. I mean, they were just creating chance after chance after chance. And Union, to their credit, stood tall and really impressed with the job that people like Raphael, like Neil, like Gio were doing during that final.
Yeah.
I know Oscar came in, he was solid, even though he came in right away and got a yellow
Yeah.
card. It
He
was
came, well, and literally, like, when he came in, he was almost part, like, they almost scored. Like, he was almost part of that. Like,
yeah,
that was, but then, yeah, he got a
yellow
yellow card.
card.
It was the only yellow card, I think,
Yeah.
for Union 2 on the day. But, um, Cincinnati ended up getting a few, like, right after. But, yeah, I thought defense did a great job. Like, they did a good job of, blocking and, like, getting in there and intercepting the ball. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
And also, Crit, one thing I asked Ryan, and we didn't clip this, but I asked him, I said, George Marks' leadership out there, and look, George had a great career at Clemson, won a national title. Um,
Oh yeah, and George Marks, by the way, got save of the year for
thank you.
like a sequence of 4 saves in a row when he was with Crown Legacy earlier in the season.
But you can see what he's learned from, Ross and Phil, and what he learned his time there at Charlotte as
Yeah,
well, because really and maybe even in college, because he just really commands leadership out there with
yeah,
how he was barking out, like,
hmm
formations, commands, orders. Not That's not a knock on what Pierce did or Mike or
yeah,
even Andrew.
yeah,
It's just I felt like there's a lot of maturity there in that back line.
yes,
I would say honestly, I think Andrew's obviously much more talented, but the experience is there is what I'm kind of getting
yeah.
at.
Like you feel confident having him in there.
Not that we don't feel confident with Rick.
No,
It's just when Rick's not there, when Pierce, who kind of was
yeah,
playing well,
George was doing a great job before he
yeah.
got hurt. So,
Um,
and he seems to be coming back from it. Like he's making progress. By the way, we've seen Pierce around. Um,
oh yeah.
he's getting there. So.
So, I mean, I wanted to ask Neil this. I wanted to see what his thoughts were on that defensive performance that last 20 minutes because I
Mhm.
thought it was really impressive. So, here was Neil's comments.
Just think it's kind of, as the season goes along, we kind of realize, like, I guess we kind of realize how good we are. And it's like, it's just staying focused. And I think at times, we're a younger team, so sometimes we come into play like, oh, we might not be focused. But it's like, now it's like, all right, we're in a grown man's league. Like, we've had our talks, we've had our serious conversations. Like, it's time to lock it in. And so, yeah. Just think it's.
I would like to shout out Neil there because it reminds me not too long ago about a game where we had a little discussion about that. If you remember, that really bad performance against New England, was it? Where they went down like 2-0.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, Neil did not have a very good game that
No.
game.
And honestly, you know what I thought about when Neil got Defender of the Year and just with this performance, I thought about how at the away Red Bulls 2 game
Oh gosh.
when the I mean it was a rough game just all around, but the image that sticks with me is Neil just sitting there on the field, just like, you know, emotional at the end of that match.
Yeah.
And just like kind of sitting down, head down, and but it was a rough game, but he he didn't stay down about it long. He got right back to it and he's been really, really strong this season.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
had
flips happen.
flips happen. I mean,
But yeah.
there have been a couple games this year where I felt that he has regressed, and then there's games where I felt that he's advanced through it. So I'm good to hear that perspective where he's kind of starting to show that, yeah, with these young guys especially, that hey, we got to start taking it seriously.
Yeah, it's crazy. I thought that pairing of him and Makanya was very good last year. And now you see like the accolades coming from Makanya this year up in there, which we can talk about, but there's people like talking about Makanya as like defender of the year up at MLS level. But, you know, it's yeah, Union 2 and they've had some really, really good center backs
Yeah.
here. So it's great to see. But anyway,
And
but yeah, good
I
for Neil.
do want to talk about with that win, you now advance to the MLS Eastern Conference semifinals.
Yep, which will be Saturday.
Yeah, so they did announce
Yes.
that will be Saturday. They'll play whoever
Red
Red Bull
Bulls don't
2
choose. Yeah.
do not choose. And we talked about this last episode.
Yeah, it'll either be Huntsville or Chicago.
So it's two of the teams we did really not want to see. Now,
Yeah. Well, think about it.
Chicago, we kind of wanted to see. I was fine with them.
Did well at home against them. And in a way, like those two late goals given up, but Union 2 were getting so many chances in that match. It's not like they were getting blown out. It's just they were getting stymied by a really good performance by the keeper from Chicago that day.
Yeah.
And Melinda was his name. And then they had in Pratt who had a really rough outing.
Yeah.
So yeah, like so it's the thing about Huntsville is they've only played him once. They only played him once this season,
They were on the
and
road.
it was on the road. That was when we were flying to Miami. Remember, we
Yeah.
watched it on the plane, and you look at the roster, like the lineup for that game. I mean, there's guys in that lineup that aren't even with the team anymore. You had
No.
like Master Demos. You had David Vasquez. You had you know Ramsey on there. Like there's a bunch of guys in there that aren't even. And I want to say that was Raphael's first game too. But
That was.
yeah, it was so early in the season. It was March. So a lot's changed. I think Ryan even mentioned, yeah, both teams are, look quite different, really.
They really, really do. I went and looked last night when we got home. So Red Bulls has beaten both teams and they've lost to both teams. And obviously the most infamous one was when they lost 9 to what was it? 9-2 to Red Bulls or like 9-4. It was something where like
Yeah.
I mean Chicago, sorry.
Yeah.
Were the ones. So I'm curious, do they pick Huntsville? Remember, they're not gonna have Aiden Stokes.
Yeah, so that's their keeper. That's
And
big.
and he's been excellent this year. I mean, every accolade he deserves. I mean, you could talk about Jakubovic there at Chattanooga, but
Yeah.
he's been
So,
excellent
well,
for
there's a
them.
reason why he's going to the U17 World Cup.
Yep.
And speaking of which, of course, Union 2, we're going to be missing Kellen and Jameer and Cav
Which
and Jordan,
let's
which,
talk about that
yeah.
real quick. So I do have a little graphic here. So yeah, go ahead and share that.
Yeah, I mean, great for those guys, first of all. And I think, first of all, Cavan didn't, he got in like the 55th minute or so, I think, with the first team. He played a good amount of the second half. He did a great job, by the way, which we'll get into that game. But Cavan wasn't even in the match yesterday. And yeah, he's been in, maybe like half the Union 2 matches. But so, I mean, it'd be nice to have him, but it's, they can be okay without him. And then, I think the bigger loss right now is Jordan and Kellen there, especially
Yes.
Jordan. Kellen has been fantastic, of course. This will be a chance for guys like William Ferreira to step up, some of these guys. But I mean, Jordan though at left back has been ever since Isaiah LaFleur got loaned out. Jordan's really seized the opportunity and done tremendous. And Ryan spoke of this. We've shared it on articles and things, but he's really done a great job there. And so now it's like, okay, so who do you put there? And Ryan mentioned, yeah, they have options. You have Nick Pariano could go there, Raphael could go there. I think Oscar could go there, and you have options too. Because remember, you have like Caden Moore can play in there, on the back line. So it's like
There's options.
there's options. I mean, it's not necessarily ideal to move some of these guys there, but they can make it work. And then of course Jameer Johnson is going to, and he hasn't had as much time with Union 2. Heck of a player. But he hasn't had as much of a role there. So
I think if he sticks around, he's had a lot of interest overseas too. But if he sticks around, I think he's gonna have a larger role
he could definitely break in, I think, way more
next year. Yeah, I do too. But I mean, at the end of the day, who you want to see?
Um, that's a tough one. I kind of lean towards Chicago, but also with Chicago, man, they're dangerous because Shukaluk has been so good. Pareba's back, and he was their
I
Golden Boot
mean,
winner last year.
they're a good team.
They're a good
And
team.
they're in good form, but I don't know. I kind of lean towards the enemy you know more than the one you kind of had one off on. I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to be a good. I would probably lean Chicago, even though Chicago's so dangerous right
Hmm.
now. But I feel like I feel like Red Bull, if they don't have Stokes back there in net,
Hmm.
even though they're defensively very sound as well,
Hmm.
they're not as sound as Union 2. I feel like they're going to go Huntsville.
Yeah,
But we'll see. We
we'll
will
see.
see.
I'm not sure when that's gonna be announced, but I would assume soon.
Yeah. But anyway, um, let's move on. Talk about the I think it was Philadelphia Union memes was like, oh no. Anyway,
Yeah, about
Union
the
lost.
Union
Oh
loss. Okay.
no. Anyway,
What a missed opportunity. Had they at least tied, then they would have had 67 points.
okay, stop that right now. Okay, we're shutting down the podcast.
6-7.
Nope, 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 nope. Nothing to see here. Move on, folks.
Oh God,
Uh,
all day, every day. I come into swim practice tonight, and 6-7 is written all over my whiteboard where I write practice,
as
all over it.
scrimmages,
And then,
goals.
and then one of the kids wrote "Go Ohio State," and I knew exactly which one that was because everyone else is Penn State fans.
But anyway,
So rude. Anyway,
no, Union fell on decision day to Charlotte, remain winless all time in Charlotte. But I mean, it was one of those games where we just watched it. It wasn't as bad as the scoreline predicted. There were opportunities. There were maybe some missed
they
calls.
almost scored in the first 40 seconds.
Yeah,
Bedoya just missed.
yeah. There was just some, you know, I don't know. Just the breaks didn't go their way. The breaks kind of went Charlotte's way. I thought the second half Union were excellent.
Yeah.
Um, and let's just hear from Bradley Carnell on
Hey,
this.
big win of was no injuries that we know of. Yeah. But yeah,
Here's
because
what Bradley had to say.
yeah.
Yeah, then we get to the game. I think in the first 2, 3 minutes, we could have had 2 goals and really set the scene here and really had an objective in mind to be, clinical, lethal. And unfortunately, they get 2 moments and score 2 goals, from a ball that, is it out? Was it not? I mean, I clearly see it out of bounds. I'm not sure what somebody else sees. And then you get caught chasing the game a little bit. You get chasing, and then there's decisions. I thought there should have been a red card very early on for Zaha. And then, we don't react on those. And then it just escalates, right? I mean, we play a certain way. There's all the time stoppages, the time wastages from the goalkeeper, Kalina, on goal kicks. We at 0-0, we get blown the whistle with Andre to hurry up the play. We already getting blown the whistle. For them, it just takes 5, 6, 8 moments before they blow the whistle. And at what moment is there a consequence? Because if you don't act on those moments, then all of a sudden it escalates like it did. And, just unfortunate for the way things ended. So, we'll just have to make sure we control our emotions and make sure that this is who we are. So we embrace this. We train like this every single day. So, I feel we're primed for these. Sometimes I feel that, other people are not.
I mean, he's not wrong in the sense of, look, Tori Penso has done some really good officiating, but I will say it. I think at times she is inconsistent. And look, every ref out there has had moments this year. I mean, we're human.
Mm-hmm.
But he's kind of right. The goal that is it online? Is it not online? We don't know. I mean, it
Mm-hmm.
was like, even I was like, ooh, is that?
Yeah, like seriously, I know it was brought up today. Um, about
Yeah, shout out to Todd Lewis for
yeah.
bringing that up and then having me remember, huh? So if you don't know what we're talking about, Todd Lewis of the Free Kick, shout out to him and Jose, another great pod, and yeah, last night. So go check them out, by the way. Um, he was talking about the calls from Bradley from his question because Bradley said he never got an explanation for that
Mm-hmm.
first goal. Like,
Yeah.
was it in, was it out? And
Yeah.
just kind of gave a deflating answer because he didn't know.
But you know how they could know?
Checking cameras.
Yeah, getting better camera angles. And And
And
Jim Curtin mentioned about this,
so I was sitting there and I was like, I remember that was early in the season because I remember that was kind of a running line all year on a
mhm.
couple plays that Jim would say, is it a goal? Is it not a goal? Kind of thing.
Wasn't
So
he like, it's like, a cheap fix. You just go, you just need,
I remember that
yeah.
quote and I'm like, when was that quote? And it started bugging me. So, all right. So I went on and I started snooping around, like trying to find things. And I found an article that kind of mentioned it. And so I read it. I'm like, there it is right away.
Mm-hmm.
And I found the article. That I went to the website. I went to YouTube, found the clip from that presser, and sent it over to Todd. And I was like, here it is, man. Because I used to remember it was early in the season. I thought, honestly, it was the Atlanta match. If anybody wants to go hear that, it's the Atlanta press conference post match where he talks about
Mm-hmm.
the $10 camera. Apple can go buy a $10 camera and put them around.
Yeah.
He talks about it twice in that press conference, by the way. Um, yeah, it is something where you kind of wonder should they with all these great angles and video and all this stuff that Apple does very well.
Yeah.
Couldn't we have a couple more cameras to actually get the calls right or like
Yeah.
have better view to help the officials? That's where I'm kind of getting with this. I'm not going
Yeah.
to blame the officials for a result. That's not where we're going with this. But if you have another camera right there on the touchline, maybe you get a better call and you can
Yeah.
make the right call because we're human.
Mm-hmm.
And it is unfortunate. The Zaha foul early on. I mean,
Yeah.
if that call is straight red, now Columbus is with Columbus
Charlotte.
Charlotte's without their best player
Mm-hmm.
out there on the field. And guess what? Junior down man, maybe that's not a good thing, but
But it also could be.
it could be. And so I think it's all to say that it is what it is. We move on.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it is unfortunate. I think that is something they do need to fix, but also two things can be true. Um,
Union defensively could have done better on
mhm.
those two goals
Yeah.
in very bad defensive sequences
Hmm.
that led to those two goals. Andre was left in no man's land. I
Yep.
mean, yeah,
Yeah, because that one goal was kind of on Kai, wasn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
he got caught way
Which
up.
is it's unfortunate because Kai most of the time is phenomenal. So, yeah. But
Um,
yeah.
there was that, and then you go to half down 2-0. I thought the second half, and he brought in,
Yeah, Bradley made two substitutions at the
yeah,
half.
brought in Indy and Ty, and I thought they were good.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Sullivan came in, and we were kept saying, "Why are you bringing in Sullivan? Why not bringing Frankie?" But
Well,
I thought
Kevin, I thought did a
was a
great
great guy.
job,
I thought
honestly.
thought Calvin was fine.
I thought that was one of his better performances with the first team there. And he was doing a very good job. Like he was making some nice crosses and he had a shot on target too. Like,
I
well
mean,
hit
that Kalina
shot.
had this layoff,
Yeah.
or I mean,
Yeah.
credit to Kalina. He had 5 saves on the night,
Yeah.
and this guy's had now 12 clean sheets on season. When he's on, he is
Hmm.
very, very good. And some
Yeah.
nights, his goalkeeper's night, he's going to keep in the game, and that's a game. Dean Smith's getting 3 points because obviously they capitalized on their moments. Union had 23 shots,
Hmm.
did not capitalize on the moments.
Yeah.
Their low block kind of really frustrated Union at times, and we'll see if other teams do that heading into the playoffs. But
Yeah.
I was really pleased with because after that second goal, I'm thinking to myself, "Oh gosh, we're gonna have another
I
Vancouver.
know that thought went through my mind like, come
Are we
on.
gonna have another Vancouver? Are we gonna have another 2022 Charlotte match on our hands where it just kind of gets out of hand?" And two Cornell staff and the squad,
Hmm.
they kept in that match. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
gonna go a long way now.
Yeah.
Um,
And then Miley Choo Choo and Frankie were brought in.
yeah,
And so I thought they did a great job. And Frankie back from the U20 World Cup where he was fantastic. And you know,
I know some people were talking about Macania on those goals. Does he get beat? Does he not get beat?
That-
I mean, here's what I kind of asked Bradley at the end of the presser. I just was curious his thoughts on McKinney because McKinney's had a great season,
Mhm.
and here's what Bradley had to say, and on Frankie
Kanye
too.
doesn't get spoken about enough, and he does it week in and week out against one of the hottest strikers, And like I said, it's just two moments, and I don't think he's to blame on any of the goals. I wouldn't even look at that. And I think he's done excellent. He's had an excellent season. He's done way more than we've asked of him. Him and Jacob formed a great relationship very early on. So yeah, listen, I hope he continues to grow from strength to strength, and he's got a good backup or support group around him. And I thought Frankie was excellent. He came in and it told him exactly. He could see the spaces that we were creating and what we were trying to do. And Nate goes out from a very good game, and Frankie steps in and has a very good continuation of exactly what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I thought, by the way, Nakanya, we had that, I put that article out with interview with him, and he mentioned about, yeah, the leadership of having Jacob with him,
yep.
having guys like Andre, having Bizo, those guys with the leadership. But, yeah, he still has had learning moments, but he really does learn though. And I think he's just been tremendous. And I um think that, Bradley's had a lot of belief in him this season. So, um, it's been tremendous. And on Frankie, Frankie came in and did a great job. And he always brings a good dynamic to the game as well. And on one note, I was also waiting to see because remember, at the home match against Charlotte, Frankie and Zaha were kind of like having some words, and I think Frankie was getting in his head a little bit, which was hilarious. And I honestly laughed so hard when Zaha got sent off. He basically he fouled Choo Choo, like he basically took him out there, and but he hit him with his arm or whatever. Forget exactly what happened, but anyway, it was like, yeah, he was already on a yellow, and then Zaha did something stupid, and it's funny because he's like Zaha's getting sent off, and you see Frankie open start, and Frankie was saying stuff to him, and you're like, oh, yeah.
Well,
But the whole like sequence, like Zaha, like so it was so dumb, honestly,
I
and
mean,
and the
I
thing,
don't even know if that was a foul.
eh, it well,
It just the angle looks to me it looked worse than it is. I don't know. I mean, Top brought it up. I mean, if you're on a yell, that's a dumb foul to make
yeah.
anyway. But
Yeah, but oh my gosh, I laughed so hard when Zaha got sent off. That was funny.
yeah, so
And
he's gonna miss that.
yeah, because for those who don't know, yes, like yellow card accumulation resets, like so. But the thing is, if you get a red though, if you get some, that is going to carry over. Zaha has to miss their, first playoff match.
Against NYCFC. So that'll be
Yeah,
interesting for Charlotte. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna talk more about this match. We got a guest coming up later this week. So
yeah, you're gonna get another episode from us this week.
yep. But let's talk a little bit about the playoffs. So due to decision day, how things shaped up, and let's be honest, thank goodness Union capitalized when they did, because I mean, Inter Miami,
Yeah.
Charlotte, yeah, Union finished top of the league regardless of 66 points. So
Mm-hmm.
they will now face the winner of the wild card game this coming Wednesday
Yeah.
of Chicago versus Orlando City.
Mm-hmm.
Game one was announced. It'll be Sunday at 5:30.
At Subaru Park.
Yep,
Yeah.
and then the game two will be Saturday at 5:30 on November 1st. And
Mm-hmm.
then, if necessary, that game to be determined, time to be determined, will be on November 8th, the following Saturday.
Yeah, so hopefully Union take care of business. Hopefully you see them win those first two games and not have to bring it back, but they do have the
Yeah,
home field advantage, which helps. So, yeah, so either Orlando or Chicago. We'll see.
yeah,
If they do end up playing Chicago, we just have to remember Chicago has been pretty good, right? Although Union beat them, yeah,
twice this year.
at home, and yeah, like and beat them pretty good at home. Like what was it, like 4 to
for nothing, and Union
Yeah.
beat Orlando City on the road.
Yeah, the opening
4-2.
game. Like,
Yeah, 4-2. So I
so
mean, Orlando City when they're on are
yeah.
certainly difficult. Chicago's in good form right now, but I don't know.
I think the Union got into the best situation with the bracket the way it is because in the other end of the bracket, let those teams duke it out. Like that's like Miami and Nashville are up there.
And Columbus, who's
Yeah.
matched up well with them this year,
Um
so
and
yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough regardless, but yeah, I'm fine with this bracket. I think Union have some opportunities here.
yeah, absolutely. So, hey, they've got to bring it and so it's going to be another weekend full of playoff soccer. You got Union 2 on Saturday. Everyone get yourselves out to Subaru Park. Um And was that 6 p.m., I believe, Saturday at Subaru Park, and then yeah, Sunday 5:30
Yeah.
for at the Sub as well. So, but for
Yeah,
first team.
and we'll talk more about the playoff predictions with our guests
Mhm.
on midweek, so make sure you tune into that if you're listening. Um, Also, Union announced today that they on Thursday from 12 to 2 at City Hall, I believe, right around City Hall, they're
Mhm.
going to have a fan fest kind of kick off the playoffs.
Which unfortunate that it's during a school day.
Yes,
Um,
but if you are in Philly,
yeah.
try and make it out there.
Yeah, so they here's from the press release for that. So it's at City Hall, fan rally to celebrate Supporters Shield and kick off the playoff push. Fans are invited to view and take photos with the Shield, enjoy games, giveaways, and more. So again, it's Thursday, October 23rd. Um, and they will be doing this at City Hall Courtyard on Thursday from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. It's open to the public. It'll feature interactive games, photo appearances, um, photo opportunities, surprise guest appearances as a way to thank fans who helped fuel this unforgettable season. As part of the celebration, Union fans will have the exclusive opportunity to see and take photos with the Supporter Shield, which honors the team with the best regular season record in Major League Soccer. And of course, the Union's beloved mascot Fang will be on hand to join the celebration, take photos with fans, include entertainment, games, giveaways, and opportunities to meet Union personalities and mascots. Fans are encouraged to wear Union gear and show their Philly pride as the city honors another incredible milestone for its Major League Soccer team. So yeah, it should be great event. Yeah. If we lived closer and it was not during my time at work, I would totally be over there, but I know some people that will definitely be going there. Some of our friends that live closer. Yeah.
And me.
Are you gonna lucky you, I guess.
I might go. I don't know if I can sneak away after last week, but
Yeah.
if I can, you might see me out there too. To be determined. But
Hmm.
anyway, anything else?
No, just again, check out some of these articles we put out lately because we had some great player interviews. We had, like I said, had stuff about Neil and also the four guys going to the U17 World Cup.
Yep.
Had the Makanya interview. We had an article about Frankie. You, Kyle, talked to Frankie the other day. So we had an article with that about Frankie's World Cup experience. So, yeah, definitely check that out. And, you know, appreciate everyone who's been listening to our podcast and checking out our work. And I know like a lot of people that watched us on Brotherly Love FC and gave us great comments about that as well. So
All
appreciate it.
right. Well, until next time, this has been an all new episode of the One Team We Agree On.
Yeah, make sure to like and subscribe and leave us comments. We love hearing from you. And thank you to everyone spreading the word as well. And you can subscribe to our website and get the articles straight to your inbox as well if you haven't done so already. So, yeah, thank you everyone though who's been engaging with us.
Absolutely. And please, again, leave a comment what you're excited for this coming weekend. And until next time, I'm Kyle,
I'm Jillian.
and we'll see you at the game.